Drop it.
You know, every once in a while a game comes around that just completely destroys my social life, digestive system routine, more than anything my sleeping pattern, because I just get addicted to it. You know, I always tell myself, don't let this happen again. Don't keep falling into the same trap of letting yourself getting obsessed with a game. But here we are again, I suppose. And I mean, I haven't even been going to college the last couple of days because this game has just been ruining my life and taking up all of my time. And I mean, you've probably guessed by now that this game I'm talking about is Borderlands 2. And you've probably already guessed by now as well that I haven't scripted as part of the video because I haven't had time to write a script. I've been playing Borderlands 2. And I can't even think of a good segue to the review from this, so I don't know, let's just get into the review, I guess. In pretty much any form of media, a sequel can be a worrying concept. Whereas there are some sequels that are just undoubtedly better than the original game, there are also a lot of sequels that have personally been a disappointment for me, which I'll give my reasons for in another video. There's even a series on the internet devoted to disappointing sequels because they tend to be so hit and miss sometimes. And it's with this cautious uncertainty that I had going into Borderlands 2, the sequel to Borderlands 1. So without further ado, it's time to return to the land of Pandora and find out how it's been since our last visit. The story in Borderlands 2 follows your chosen character, in my case a gun-toting badass named Mildred, in search of a vault. Now essentially it does sound like the plot of the first Borderlands game, but this time there is a lot more to it than just that. After the events of the first Borderlands, a mineral called iridium started appearing after the vault was opened by your chosen character from the first game. In my case a pink-clothed soldier named Leslie. Some guy called Handsome Jack gets a load of this iridium, gets rich off it, and uses this mineral to make him and his business Hyperion rich, and to all over Pandora. So your goal in this game is to band together a team to take him down and save Pandora, while also looking for another rumoured vault. So in terms of the plot, a major upgrade from the first game. Nice work. Handsome Jack follows you in your adventures in the same way Atlas does in Bioshock. He talks to you through a little intercom thing as you explore and take down enemies, never missing an opportunity to mock, degrade or belittle you.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of a name for that diamond pony I bought. I was going to call it Piss for Brains in honor of you, but that just feels immature.
This guy has to be one of the funniest bad guys I've come across in a long time. This brings me to something else I especially love about this game. It's so damn funny. The first Borderlands always struck me as an awkward mix of comedic and serious, but this game knows exactly what it wants to be. The world of Pandora is full of hilarious characters, people, and even little Easter eggs. Even the stupid exposition lady is funny in this game.
Thanks for using scooters, catch a rap!
A real charmer, that one.
The writing in this game is definitely up there with the likes of Whedon and Tarantino. It's that good. All the core gameplay is pretty much exactly like the first game. In fact, if I play clips from both of these games back to back, the average Joe probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And to be honest, that isn't really such a bad thing. The gameplay in the first Borderlands was so addictive, challenging, and overall fun that I couldn't even bring myself to rage quit at times because I didn't want to stop playing. And if it ain't broke rule will apply anywhere, it's definitely in Pandora. Just travelling around, shooting and looting is more fun than it ever was before. Shooting enemies like this feels much more satisfying and rewarding than, say, having the game do it for you. But I personally love being forced into situations where I have to adapt of my own accord, as opposed to getting the game to do it for me, or having the game just do it for me. In all of my years of gaming, I've hated using the sniper rifle because I'm not tactical or good at aiming whatsoever. But since I started playing this game, I've landed more headshots than I can't even think of a comparison. Borderlands stays true to its roots and sticks to being a looting and shooting game, which means you'll be seeing a lot of this. You'll spend pretty much every 5 to 10 minutes of the game searching through boxes or containers for guns, spare ammo, health or quest items. And with literally millions of gun combinations scattered throughout the game, it's bound to get pretty customizable. With every level up, you can upgrade certain skills and perks to give you advantages like dual-wielding guns within the battlefield. It's a great way to give you that extra edge, and also a great incentive to get that level count up as much as possible. Referring back to my Borderlands 1 review, let's do what I would call the sequel checklist, where I'll take a look at all the problems I gave the first game, and see if they've been rectified this time round. The environments and enemies lack variety and look pretty dull. The environments of Borderlands 2 are much more varied, ranging from desert, winter tundra, highlands, rocky mountainsides, and more. Also, the enemies themselves come in much more variety, as they're more vibrant and less dull than before. Also, the world of Pandora definitely seems more alive this time round, with enemies driving around and less repetitive side missions. Rectified! Sometimes the screen feels too cluttered with text, comfortably taking all the surroundings, yet at the same time lacks the useful inclusion of a minimap. This time round, I feel like there's a lot more room to breathe, as the HUD is not cluttered up nearly as much as it was first time round. Oh yeah, there's a minimap as well. Rectified! It also feels like sometimes grinding takes too much game time up, and a lot of missions require a couple of hours of grinding each. While the first Borderlands kind of thrived on grinding before you take on certain missions, the sequel doesn't depend on that nearly as much. And taking down bosses is a lot less time consuming and as a result a lot more fun. Rectified! So, is this it? Is this the holy pinnacle of video game perfection as we know it? Is this the best game that can possibly exist that does everything right and has no flaws whatsoever? Have we in the video game industry finally peaked with a game that seems to do nothing wrong? Totally expand on what made it great and took away what made it bad? Is this truly the best game of all time? Well, no. It's close, but no. The only complaints I have aren't purely nitpicky, but as a video game reviewer, I cannot ignore them, no matter how trivial. One is loading times. In 2012, loading screens should not be as common as they are here, because there is a lot of them. Not quite as many as Portal 2, but still a lot. Sorry, Valve, I love you. Especially considering Fallout 3, with the overworld being mind-blowingly huge, but it's only a loading screen once you go inside an indoor area. Another complaint I have is that this game is too hard. While it's easy enough to put that down to not being a high enough level, or just sucking at the game in general, I can see the difference between a legitimate challenge and infuriating unfairness. There are times when I had to spend over an hour clearing a room of enemies because they just sprint at me and don't stop until I'm dead, which takes like 5 seconds. I don't know, it just feels like there's a difference between games like Dark Souls and just being flanked by enemies that kill you so mercilessly that even Hitler would be disgusted. That sounded less offensive in my head. Finally, I know this is something really silly to complain about, but when you're about to die, you go into second wind mode, where if you can kill an enemy in a certain amount of time before you pass out and die, you'll be revived instead. But instead, your character spends the whole time reloading like a jackass! I shouldn't be given the chance to revive, but punished because my character couldn't hurry the hell up! Despite its minuscule flaws, Borderlands 2 is a fantastic game. It builds off literally every aspect of the first game, and outdoes it in every possible way. I always considered Borderlands a game that I enjoyed, but never a game I'd exactly fall in love with. But the sequel just has not only everything a game should have, but it also does them all amazingly. When you have a game that's hard to fault apart from little nitpicks, you have a good game. And even if you're not a fan of the first Borderlands, I recommend you try this game out anyway, because in my opinion it's so much better. And that's pretty much Borderlands 2. In conclusion, if you like the first game, chances are you'll like the second one as well. And you know what? Now that I've finally gotten over this game and all of its addictive gameplay, maybe I'll have a chance to actually get back to the real world again, you know, to try and remember how it is being outside. And who knows, maybe I'll even get my social life back. Well, that was horrible.
And the award for the worst ending to any YouTube video ever goes to Farfetch'd! Give one round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, he deserved it!
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out my review of Borderlands 2. I know these annotation segments go on for a little bit too long, so I'm going to try and get through them a little bit faster. Click the left annotation to watch my previous review of Catherine, a game about a guy who gets caught in a psychological horror love triangle. Is that a sheep? What, walking like a person? Wait, what's with the... What? Since I make so many references to my Borderlands 1 review in this video, I figured it only made sense to link an annotation to that. Click the middle annotation to go see that now. Do a mission for this guy and he gives you loot. Kill this enemy and get some loot. I cleared this area, I can take all this loot, this guy is too strong, I'm gonna get some new loot. Kill him, take his loot and use this loot to loot other loots. Or click the right annotation to watch my Let's Play of that awesome Half-Life HD remake, Black Mesa. No, don't long me. Yep, where is he? Anyway, if you've enjoyed anything I've ever done so far, make sure to click subscribe. Your subscription-y support is your way of telling me I'm doing things right. Anyway, I've got to go. I've got to learn to say click that annotation a bit better. Click that annotation. Click that, click. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. Click that annotation. Why can't I say it? Anyway, see you next time. Yeah, really, how completely disappointing me. I know, I'm like the only person on earth who can say that.